Commodore Amiga was the second gaming system I ever owned. I began with the Amiga 500, which was boosted to a whopping 1MB of memory thanks to an expansion, and then later upgraded to the Amiga 1200 with its AGA or AGA as I called it chipset and a whopping 2MB of memory. But great gaming memories are not measured in memory, see what I did there? And I love this system. Yeah, its controls were limited compared to its console rivals, and yes, the loading times and disc swapping could be a pain, but there were some fantastic games on this. Here I pick a few games from a selection of many and ramble about them. I've also blew away the rest of my book of key 90s phrases. So boom boom, let's shake the room, whatever. So to kick off proceedings, the first game on this list is Fodder, which was released in 1992. Starring Cool Coyote. I thought this was a great platformer back in the day. The player controls Cool Coyote, who can fire projectiles and freezes enemies. After this process, you can destroy your foes by simply walking or jumping into them. The game was developed by Graph Gold and published by Renegade Software. In a time when not only platformers but video gamers in general were obsessing about Mario and Sonic, games like Fire and Ice went under the radar, but a lot of Amiga fans were savvy to this little gem. There are many secrets to uncover, but the basic aim of the game is to find parts of keys which are found after smashing your foes. When the key for each level is fully formed, you can exit the level. Don't let the cute and colourful graphics mislead you, this game is balls to the wall difficult. Enemies swoop and slide towards you willy-nilly, and the game's inertia can get you in some tricky situations. I never completed this game, but I had a lot of fun and frustration trying. Overall, this has that 90s video game charm that still plays well today. The graphics are colourful and crisp, and the sound is pretty good also. That reminds me, there was an Amiga Power cover disc with the Christmas level of Fire and Ice, and the music in that was banging. Cannon Fodder, the game where although Sensible Software's Cannon Fodder reaped a bit of controversy due to humorising war and using a poppy similar to that of the British Legion's Remembrance Poppy, this has to be rated as one of the Amiga's greatest ever games. This game was released in 1993 and is probably best described as an action strategy shoot 'em up. The game features a point and click mechanic, which means you can navigate your little soldiers by moving the mouse to the desired location and clicking the left mouse button and shooting with the right button. This title does have a humorous yet dark tone which may portray war in an entertaining way, but there is still something very sombre, and despite its moral criticism, it does make the player think about the loss of war. As you complete the missions, your little soldiers, no euphemism intended, rank up. This mainly means that their range of fire does increase, making it easier to attack the enemy soldiers. But they are no less susceptible to bullets, and you will feel grief when your comrades are downed. You big lookout, no! Oh, what a waste. Go on, Tadger lad! Cannon Fodder is great, and it received high praise on release. This is still a lot of fun to play today. It was released on consoles, but the mouse used by the Amiga improves the game. Everyone should at least try this version, it's bodacious. Now we're going back to 89, and this is Batman the movie. This was developed by Ocean Software, and it was based on the movie of the same name. The game consists of 5 stages based on events from the movie. There are 2 platforming action sections, a level that consists of navigating the Batmobile and Batwing, and a puzzle section. Although the graphics may not be as stunning as the more modern Batman Arkham series, this is a game I found to be a lot of fun, and still found it to be very charming today. Back in 89, this was the first game that I had ever completed without cheats, and although it's no Battletoads, it still provides a challenge. It can be unforgiving with its 3 lives limit, but as I inch closer towards the finale, after memorising every route, enemy and potential pitfall, I felt a sense of achievement when I flung that final batarang into the Joker. And I had a smile as wide as Jack Nicholson's. Overall, this game was, and still is, a lot of fun, and I enjoyed replaying this. It's probably not one of the greatest Amiga games ever, but it's one that I have fond memories of. It was one of the first games I owned on the system, so that will always mean it's in the forefront of my Amiga memories. Batman, is rad, man. Now we move on to Alien Breed Special Edition 92. This is a Team 17 game and it was actually released as a budget title. It basically tweaked the original Alien Breed gameplay and added extra levels. This filled the void between the full price editions of Alien Breed and Alien Breed 2. I always enjoyed the Team 17 titles on the Amiga, and they produced some other great games on the system such as Super Frog, Assassin, Project X, Super Stardust, Worms and many more. This game, I believe, was heavily influenced by the Alien movies, and it mirrors the dark, atmospheric and immersive feeling of solitude. This series of games were very difficult, and you had to manage your resources which depleted quickly, such as ammo, energy and keys to unlock many doors. As you navigate through the levels, the swarms of enemies surround you thick and fast, and as the corridors are tight and narrow, you will find yourself overwhelmed at times. You can pick up credits to buy resources at the online stores, accessed by the well-hidden computer terminals. If you manage your resources well, as well as the swarms of enemies, you may just be able to navigate your way to the next level. Once again, this is a game that provided me with lots of enjoyment in between large parts of frustration. Sometimes it can seem a bit unfair and the balance of risk and reward are a bit skewed. However, I recommend the Alien Breed games to anyone who is interested in survivor horrors or just damn fine fun action games. It's booyah! Oh, and the sounds are squelchy. A game that all Amiga fans will know is Speedball 2 Brutal Deluxe. This is a futuristic sports game that rewards violent play. Each team consists of 9 people, with 3 additional subs. The game is like a mix of ice hockey, handball and maybe even indoor football, with a heavy smattering of rugby and mixed martial arts. The aim of the game is to score more points than your opponent by scoring goals, injuring your opponents and scoring points on the targets scattered around the field of play. The game also features a nice after-touch mechanic to help swerve the ball in flight, similar to sensible soccer. In the single player mode, there is only one team that you can control, and that is Brutal Deluxe, who are the new boys to the league and are also the worst team. There are different modes that you can play, including League, where you need to get promoted from the second tier of teams into the top division and then become Speedball 2 champions. This is a great mode, however my only criticism of this is that it's a very short campaign. If you do not achieve promotion, then it's game over and you need to start again. This means losing all your players you have bought and you are back to the bog standard players. Likewise, if you do not achieve the title of champions after being promoted, then it's game over and you have to start again. I would like to have seen a bit more depth with this, but it is a classic game regardless. There is also a knockout mode, which is a sudden death as you compete against all the teams, and a cup competition. Each match consists of 2 90-second halves, and there are pickups which give you a temporary advantage over your opponent. You can also pick up coins during the match, which can help you buy players and improve your team. This is a classic game, and definitely one of my favourite Amiga games. The Bitmap brothers produced some fine titles and this is one of their best. It was released in 1990 and 27 years later it is still a lot of fun to play. Psych. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed my nostalgic ramblings of my Amiga memories. If you found this even slightly interesting, then please like and leave a comment. Also, if you would like to see more future content, then please subscribe. If you've stuck around this long, then thanks, and here is the Fire and Ice rave up as promised. Thanks for watching.